We're going all the way to Washington today because Joey Tilton from Tilton Excavations is joining me. Joey, thanks for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, Joey, let's get started. Tell us a bit about Tilton Excavations.
So, Tilton Excavation is a business I started in 2006 with mostly doing start off kind of landscape, hardscape, water feature type stuff, moved into residential excavation, and then kind of moved to commercial excavation. As you grow, you kind of keep getting bigger and bigger and move to commercial. And so, yeah, started in 2006 and made it through the '08 recession and kept going. So we're still here.
Joey, I'm always interested to know how people found AGTEK and why they got started working with AGTEK. What is your story with AGTEK?
So I feel pretty lucky actually to have found AGTEK. It was a meeting that I had with one of my equipment salesmen, kind of moving into the GPS equipment. And I know some guys start off with buying the equipment first and then eventually working into the software. And luckily the guy I met with from Pape Equipment, he knew Matthew from AGTEK, and he said you need to talk to this guy and you need to meet him. And so basically I went and got a hold of him, and even before I bought my first GPS equipment, I got into the software, and it's such an amazing thing. I'm so glad I did it. Just as far as doing your takeoffs, knowing all your material you need, and then I also build all of the models with the software for all of our equipment, which a lot of other companies in town have to subcontract that. And so me doing it myself with AGTEK, when changes happen or something on site changes, we can throw a new model out within hours, versus waiting for a week or two from somebody else doing it. So I feel very lucky. Just happened to be met with the right guy that works with AGTEK, and so I feel really fortunate that I did make that connection.
You've been working with AGTEK for 4 years now. What is AGTEK helping you do?
It's great. I mean, it helps with many things. Just starting off, when you're doing your own, site takeoff for your estimates, it gives you the exact quantities. One of the biggest things I run into with bidding these bigger sites is the import and export, on a job, how much topsoil you got to remove and how much import you got to bring in. And I've tracked every job I've done, using AGTEK, and it comes right to the exact of what, we estimate as far as truckloads and that kind of stuff. So that's been a huge help. As far as, when you do win a job, you actually make money and you didn't miss anything. And then once we do get the job, the execution, as far as building the models and just having just all the information, it's just such powerful information that it gives you to from start to finish on a whole site, from bidding to the finish. I mean, it's great.
From where I sit, I wouldn't invest in a software solution or technology unless it was going to help me make more profits in my business. Is AgTech making you more profitable?
That's a great question. At first, it's a lot of money to buy this software, and it's a big investment, and so it's a little, at first you're like, is it going to work or is it going to help? But absolutely, it paid for itself easily within the first year, and I've got many stories over and over that it's paid for itself. So absolutely, it's helped us become more profitable on the estimates, on the bidding, and then also on just being more efficient when getting the jobs finished.
Well, prior to working with AgTech, you had more manual processes in play. What is the difference going to a digital platform versus a manual platform from an outcome perspective for your business?
Great question. So before I started with AgTech, my projects were smaller. more in the residential side of things, which are a little more manageable without software because your sites aren't as big. So it's a little easier to calculate if you're going to need material or need to get rid of material. But once you get to a scale of a site that's, say, major grocery store, Home Depot type size, or apartments, and you got this whole site that, the existing topo is doing this and all over, and you got 6 feet of fill on one side and 10 feet of cut on the other, and then a foot of topsoil you got to remove, or some people call overburden. To me, without this platform, it's almost impossible to get it right, without running into some big mistake. Or some people still do it. Some people are out there still bidding jobs without software, and you really notice because they're either really, really low or really, really high. But very rarely, usually, the guys that are running this software are all pretty dang close, bidding wise. And you don't want to win a job really, really low, because that means you're going to lose money. So kind of goes back to being profitable. You want to win jobs, but you want to be profitable as well.
What advice would you give to other organisations or individuals that are looking to implement AGTEK?
Great question. I would say absolutely go for it. I think the experience I've had has been wonderful. Not only the software is great, it's pretty user friendly. Like, if you're not a big surveyor computer background person, it's actually pretty user friendly. And then the support, the people that are training, when you first get the software, you get training with it. But I would say absolutely do it. Go for it. It's 100% worth what you paid for, and it's a great software. I don't have one complaint about it.
Well, Joe from Tilton Excavation, it's great to hear your story working with AGTEK. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.